Now let's look at who can benefit from this course, and, most importantly, what advantages it can provide. Let's start with those who want to install noise insulation by themselves. I refer to people who bought tools and want to do everything with own hands, but don't know how. To this audience, the course will provide information on how to choose the right materials and tools, in what order the materials should be installed, how to combine them, and how to make it all turn into an effective noise-reducing solution for a certain car. This course may also be useful to those who are planning to learn noise insulation in order to earn money. You can be a novice entrepreneur, say, in a garage or car service, or you can acquire this skill in order to get a job as a car noise insulation technician. This course will also help you gain a general understanding of this profession, its nuances, and learn what products to use and technologies to apply. This may also be of interest to you if you are the owner of a car-related business, for example, a tuning studio or a vehicle care center. In this case, you will get an idea about this service, about its economics, and the components it generally consists of. This way, you can earn more money by introducing this service into your business. Let's imagine your first client comes to you and says, "I want noise insulation." Often, clients have absolutely no idea what noise insulation of a car means, and, most importantly, don't really understand what exactly they need. That is, they need to solve either some general problem, for example of loudness, or some particular problem, which they relate to noise insulation, and that's why they've come to you. Let's figure out how to choose a solution for a customer. When communicating with a customer, it is important to determine the real reason for contacting you. The thing is that customers often mean something completely different by noise insulation. Sometimes this is about body protection, that is, they want to protect wheel arches, so they came to you to do noise insulation of wheel arches, or, for example, by noise insulation of the interior, they mean neutralizing chirping sounds that appeared in plastic elements of their old Geländewagen. Or they want to get some new sensations from music, but at the same time they also need noise insulation of doors. Determining the real need of a customer will allow you to offer them a more accurate solution to this problem. So, you have identified the problem. Let's say it is the poor sound of standard acoustic system, that is, the noise insulation of doors. How much should the solution cost? The cost of noise insulation, as a rule, consists of several components. The first is the cost of the material that you will install. The second is the cost of work. The third is the cost of consumables that will definitely be used, and naturally, you include a certain margin. We recommend that the margin be about 30%. About 40% is the cost of materials, and the rest is the cost of work. This is the calculation we adhere when setting prices for noise insulation services. After telling the customer the price, you work with objections. The customer is standing in front of you. You offer them your price, and they tell you, "Too expensive." Often, the too expensive argument is not primarily related to money, but is due to the fact that the customer either just does not see the value in this service, or they have some hidden issues that you will need to resolve. Let's figure out what these issues might be and how they can be addressed correctly. The first argument that a customer may bring is that noise insulation is hazardous. Is it so? Let's sort this out. My main answer to this question: we use standard plast products, and this company has been leading the noise insulation market and supplying products for assembly lines, that is, for car manufacturers. Among these manufacturers are Ford, Volkswagen, Nissan, Hyundai, and so on. It means that almost every produced car has a part developed by our plant. And for this part to get into the car on an assembly line, the plant needs to have quality management certificates. Naturally, each such certificate implies complete safety of these parts. Therefore, the materials we additionally install in the car are produced by the same plant, made on the same conveyors from the same raw materials designed for use in tuning, that is, for additional noise insulation, in order to improve the result that already exists with additional properties. STP materials are environmentally friendly, do not emit anything, do not affect health in any way, and are completely safe for human health. The next question a customer might ask is whether noise insulation will affect the car's warranty. There is also a simple answer here. Sound insulation does not affect the car's warranty if installed in accordance with the technologies recommended by the manufacturer of the noise insulation. That is, if everything is done correctly, you will have full functionality of the car interior, there will be no problems with contacting a dealer, and thus with removal of or any other problems with the warranty. I can say that in 12 years of my work, it has never happened that one of the many thousands of my customers had a problem with the warranty or somehow lost the warranty for at least some element of the body. Therefore, by using the right materials and using them according to the technology, you will definitely not create warranty problems for a customer. Another popular question that a customer may ask is whether noise insulation will affect the functionality of the interior. As a rule, they may put a lot of different things into this, for example, whether the door hinges will sag, whether the carpet will rise so much that it will be inconvenient to press the gas pedal, or whether plastic elements of the interior will start to crack. There are many of them, but the common essence is that the customer worries that something will be wrong after the entire interior of their car was literally shaken up, equipped with noise insulation, and then put back together. I can say this: the most important thing is to adhere to the noise insulation technology. If you strictly follow all the rules, there will be no problems. If you violate the rules, there will definitely be some problems. So follow our instructions carefully and do not make mistakes. The next myth that may worry your customer is that there may be problems with selling the car after noise insulation. The myth appeared when careless body repairmen began to use noise insulation materials in order to hide some body defects, for example, a crumpled body, a crumpled stiffener, and so on. This usually applies, of course, to reinforcing elements. That is, these are transverse and longitudinal amplifiers, amplifiers for wheel arches, and so on. Here you need to understand that noise insulation technologies do not include the treatment of reinforcing body elements. And if the body is completely insulated, of course, there may be questions about why absolutely everything is covered with noise insulation. No wonder that this may lead to some bad thoughts. But if noise insulation is provided by an approved service center, in a certified service center, or by a certified specialist, then there will be significantly fewer questions, because a certified specialist uses materials only for intended purpose and only in those areas where it is necessary. Therefore, your customer should not have any fears that it will be more difficult to sell the car after noise insulation. The next very important issue that worries many customers is, of course, whether a car rusts after noise insulation. Responsibility for the appearance of this myth lies with specialists who carelessly do their work. For example, they don't degrease the car body, don't smooth vibration-absorbing materials down, glue them haphazardly, don't follow the technology, and so on. We had to redo noise insulation after such specialists many times. Indeed, such incompetent treatment can lead to corrosion. I have witnessed the result of such work many times. Water gets under an incorrectly installed vibration cushioning material if it is not smoothed down, and over time rust appears. Of course, customers most often do not even know or suspect about this. When they come to a service center for some other work or noise insulation, finishing work, they see the following picture, and this is where stories like this come from. If vibration-absorbing materials and a second layer of noise insulation are installed correctly, then there will definitely not be such problems. The most important thing to understand about rust is that it doesn't just appear. It appears from water, and any vibration-absorbing material is based on a sealant. If it is applied to the body correctly, water will never get under, since there is maximum adhesion to the surface. The last thing a customer might object to you is that they doubt whether or not to do noise insulation because they are afraid that the car's fuel consumption will increase. Good question. The fuel consumption of a vehicle usually depends on the weight of noise insulation materials. The weight of noise insulation layer is equal to the weight of just one passenger. So, in fact, it is as if you always have an additional passenger with you. If you do comprehensive noise insulation of a car, then the added weight will increase fuel consumption by only 15 rubles per 100 kilometers. So, after discussing the details, the customer agrees to comprehensive noise insulation. What is the next step? The next step is taking over the car. First, you need to fill out documents, which, as a rule, include a service agreement, the simplest one, and the work order. Another important document that is part of the work order is the taking over certificate. The car will be disassembled, the interior will be completely removed, which may cause issues on what was or wasn't there, and so on. I mean, any defects in the paintwork or interior plastic elements. In fact, let me tell you, no document will save you if you don't have photographic evidence of defects. First of all, the car is washed. This is very important because, firstly, it will allow you to work with a clean car, and I am sure that it is more interesting than working with a dirty one. And secondly, this will allow you to see most of the paintwork defects that were hidden under dirt. So, you washed the car, and now it is standing in front of you. I recommend taking photos of every element of the body, that is, every wing, every door side, and every piece of plastic you are going to remove. Firstly, this will avoid any uncomfortable situations with the customer asking, "What is this?" And secondly, this will allow you to understand what the gaps between plastic parts were before and after noise insulation and compare them in order to understand whether you assembled the body correctly after the work. Because noise insulation always slightly raises the floor level, slightly increases the gaps between facing elements, and so on. There are normal gaps, up to about 2 millimeters, and abnormal ones 5 millimeters or more. This is something to keep in mind. Taking photos of plastic parts and body parts will allow you to avoid these two problems: misunderstandings with the customer and not understanding whether you put the interior back together correctly. The next step is checking the electronics. Do the seats fold? Do they unfold? Do all sorts of hatches and compartments open? And so on. This is also very important. Do the lights everywhere work? Does the music play? Sometimes customers do not even know that some of their speakers do not work. It's not uncommon for customers to say that some speaker worked, when it in fact didn't, and so on. It often happens that noise insulation specialists get burned out of the blue because they simply haven't checked something. So they need to check absolutely everything and spare some time on it. Further, if you took the car over for work and checked everything, you may face a few unpleasant surprises that will force you to back out of the noise insulation work. This is usually a few things. The first is additional anti-corrosion protection on wheel arches. Most customers are not ready to wash off anti-corrosion agent, especially for an additional fee. In this case, we have to cancel noise insulation of wheel arches because our solutions are not applied to additional anti-corrosion layer. The second problem is rust. Customers often don't even know that they have through holes, for example, in the floor or wheel arches. So in this case, we also recommend refusing either the noise insulation of the entire car or the noise insulation of a given body element. Let the customer sort out this issue in the body shop and then return to you for noise insulation. These two examples, anti-corrosion protection and excessive body corrosion, may cause a customer to be denied noise insulation services.